¿Quién soy, boy? Vamos, the boy getting ready for a big match. Season's greetings and welcome to Two Balls and a Mic, episode 156. We have a cold January week behind us, but we also had some news happen. We had back-to-back podcasts, and we had Coque Vegas at 11 p.m. 8 a.m. in Spain, where we spoke to the great Coque Vegas. So we're going to go ahead and do some translations of that. We also have the great Danny Miller come on to the pod, and then we're going to go ahead and see what Foreign Jam 3 is all about over at the hangar. So check that out. Some good insights onto the new schedule release video that they did, and obviously everything that went on in the Premier League. There's news. Frank Lampard sacked. Manchester City still dominating with Haaland. And what happened with Man U? I'm not even going to mention Chelsea. Like, we're laughable. Like, 0-0 with Liverpool.
Thank you for saying that at least.
We were talking about it. Like, it was going to be a boring fest. By the way, the Eagles fly into the semifinals. I'm just going to call it the semifinals. Like, I lose track of, like, division this, division that. Like, you good, boy? Everything good?
I think
Checking
it's
it?
good. Let us know in the chat if you're watching.
Season's greetings.
If it's cutting off or it's laggy. It happened last week, and I don't know. I think Tony lowered his internet subscription.
Internet plan is not cheap. As long as you're catching it on there, se ve.
Yeah, no, se ve.
We're good. Excellent. But yeah, so we had a couple of interviews. We also spoke with Jackie Gutierrez, who does Women Kick Balls, the independent journalist, who was really interesting to talk to. He's giving some good insight, even like teaching us a couple things as far as like what's it like to be media and how she does things, and really appreciate her work and jobs. Yeah,
definitely check that interview out if you're interested in even pursuing anything in that field. She takes on people to work for them and eventually teach them everything she knows. So hit her up if it's something you're interested in.
Yeah, she's very, very well studied individual. NWSL gets coverage from independent writers too. Like, look, man, like I'm gonna call them out too, right? Like people say, like, oh, where's the journalism in soccer in San Diego?
Oh, you mean
and
Glenn?
It's so well, okay. I wasn't gonna call him out, but
I will. Glenn is always tagging everyone.
But there it is. You want independent journalism. It's not our job, unfortunately. We don't get paid for this. I would do this full time and be up Nate Miller's behind. Just what's the latest scoop? And my sources say, like, we're not in the breaking news business. We've asked several times from Loyal, hey, like let us do
one breaking news. Damn it,
one breaking news. That's all we ask.
But no, man, we don't got the big letters in the front. That's what it is.
But again, like it's there. Journalism is there. You just gotta look for it. And the NWSL
and the one that pays big
fantastic.
bucks. I'm sorry, it's not that good.
What?
Like, I mean, we all know the SD Union Tribune writes some crappy articles.
Look, man, like the guy's really cool who ended up writing that story. I love the individual. He is a fantastic person, and you know is doing his absolute best, and you know gets it to a lot of degrees, but. In general, just a Union Tribune is just lacks something, right? Like the journalism here lacks of it.
Knowledge.
We're gonna try. We're gonna do our best. We're gonna try to get those exclusive interviews with Wave, with San Diego Loyal, with the Soccer's coming up. Like I really want to go ahead and ask Craig, which we should have done. We haven't talked about this really, but the 16 times and MASL champions who are coming up against Chihuahua. A lot of local stuff here on top. On the 29th Sunday, we're going to go ahead and do Soccer's 2 at noon. Then we're going to go ahead and do the main Soccer's in Spanish on Canela. So check that out. San Diego Soccer's undefeated this season. Soccer's 2, it's otra cosa. Boys need a little pickup there. Coach René needs to give them a little pickup.
They're good. I think they got it.
They're still in a good. They're in a good spot too.
Championship team, man. Maybe not this year.
Anything is
Who
possible.
knows? But Soccer's for sure.
Soccer's for sure are on that warpath. 28 victories in the regular season, breaking the record.
Yep.
And MASL record.
Confusing. So many leagues now in San Diego when it comes to soccer.
We were good. I was gonna send this clip to our friends at TVX and be like, Here it is.
And I fucked it
Here
up.
it is. Like, here's a clean us talking Soccers and Soccers 2. Here you go.
Sorry,
boys. We'll try again next time. But if you do want some more in-depth Soccers content as well, shout out to Soccers Overtime every Tuesday at 5 p.m. on Twitch. Craig
boys.
and Jerry, they have some really, really cool content. But going back to it, we probably will have exclusive interviews with some of the players from the Soccers in Spanish. Porque pues no lo hacen. Vamos a hacerlo. Like, Craig speaks Spanish too.
Craig speaks really good Spanish.
That Duolingo, like,
yeah,
it works, guys. It works. You just got to be dedicated. My man Craig is still on Wordle.
Yeah, dude, I've seen that. That's tight. Oh man, when did you stop doing Wordle? Like, I stopped a long time ago. I'm still pissed that you would tell people I would cheat. I did not cheat on that shit.
He did not
Never
cheat
cheated on that thing.
Once did he cheat.
Fuck it, man.
Shout out
Camera
619
angle.
Soccer. I'm telling you.
Tony's so proud of this one.
I
Yeah,
told
he
you.
did.
I
He
told
did
you.
tell me.
We got to move
Told
stuff.
me a few times. If you're just a listener,
check
out the camera angle at least, and then go back to Spotify or Apple Podcasts where you listen.
Look at this. Look at this.
Nos vemos bien guapos. Tony puso a dieta. Está bien chingón ahorita. Watching the calories. It's great.
Yeah, I watch him go in.
It's a great fucking point. Yeah.
You know my favorite type of food, right?
Which one?
Seafood.
Oh, I see food and I eat it. That's a good one.
Okay.
I like the dieta de las tes.
Oh, what was that?
Tacos, tortas, tostitos, tostadas, tamales.
Tamales. I am stepping away from tamales. Tamales
you are.
Tamales gave me food
Did you
poisoning.
tell all of our listeners what happened?
Yeah,
right.
I think I did. Yeah, I nearly died. The combination.
Yeah, the man was too excited to eat tamales, and he freaking just.
No, I didn't. I snuck in like Thomas. Tom and Jerry.
Was this late at night? How long?
It was like 9. Like
people were asleep already.
Yeah.
So it's the tiptoeing to the kitchen so nobody wakes up.
So like you know how like people have commented and told you this and told me this and I know this, like wow you're quiet. Like I was like sneak like I'll like not sneak up intentionally. I just I walk briskly. Like I'm a big dude. Like I usually hear, but no, like I'm a ninja. It's because of that. Like I'm an expert.
To sneak food at night. Para que no se despierta tu mamá.
Comiendo las escondidas.
How many times has anyone done that? Where you super careful at night to sneak some food in before waking up your mom or anyone.
Man, es que este pinche bistec ranchero estaba bien bueno.
Okay, we the bistec ranchero.
Frío,
wait, you would eat it there? Would it even make it so you would eat some and then put some on the side to sneak back to your room, right?
It depends when I'm feeling, puppy. Like if I'm really like, if it's like
that's what I'm feeling, puppy.
What's available? Like nothing. El jamón food in Tijuana.
Yeah.
Un katsu, un taquito.
Jamón con katsu.
Damn right.
Oh my.
Living in TJ, that's a treat. That's a treat. Si hay queso, if queso was available,
jamón con rollitos con el queso, ¿no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gourmet.
But that's como unos 10.
No, well, no, I can't. Just and then like tiptoe back to my sleeping area because it's pretty much one big room, one big house. The house is just one room.
Man, that is funny. Has your mom did she ever wake up?
Yeah, dude. What the fuck? Like they're disappointed. That's why I'm like this. That's why I'm like this. Come on now.
They're disappointed.
Like you've seen me put away food. Like how fast I put it away.
But then when people ask like, "Hey, so like, do you eat a lot?" You're like, "Oh no, I eat at this time, this," and then you don't mention, "Well, I also wake up at midnight to eat another whole ass meal." It's rare
that like people will see me eating.
Yeah, that is.
Like. That's a sign of a good fat guy. You never see them eating.
That's true. I wouldn't eat in public either. And
when you do, fuck you.
Hey, give me.
And when you eat, it's like, well, dos tacos por favor. Estoy bien, gracias.
Es que ya comí.
Hace rato. Bien que estás eating in the car on your way to the restaurant.
Oh man, Tony Sanchez exposing fat guys everywhere right now.
Pain.
Fuck. Memories for me.
Pain.
I'm not embarrassed to eat in front of people.
If there was
now.
an Olympic sport of eating, of like a marathon driving,
Fucking world champion, bro.
Marathon driving.
Well, dude, I've witnessed this guy eat freaking
like,
campechana fries with hot Cheetos on top
and like
in the car on his drive home.
Okay, dude. Okay, that's exposing. I wasn't going that far. I was just gonna be like,
it blows my. It's
all fun
talent.
and games. All
It
fun
is
and
a
games. And be like,
talent.
well, here's what you got to do. You got to go from the border to Oceanside, driving, and you have to eat like a certain amount of food, but you can choose the food.
Oh, okay.
And that's how you get judged. And we'll talk about judging and freestyling with Danny Miller a little later. But that's how you judge, right? Like,
Yeah.
And like, depending on the difficulty of the thing that you're eating, is the degree which you get judged.
What's the hardest
So
thing?
it's like if you're eating a bowl of soup with chopsticks,
A la madre.
like some birria,
You've
100%.
Okay.
I prepare it.
Ramen? Have you done ramen?
I mean, that's just easier. Like, it's just one big, like, if it's just, there's no, if it's birria, it's just, you like that sound.
Because I know that sound way too like pinche sopita. God damn it.
But yeah.
Oh, but yeah, birria on the cart. That's dangerous. Porque si tiras eso se mancha y nacho,
and
güey.
I mean, if you're driving stick shift but you're eating like
You did birria while stick shift?
Oh yeah.
How
Like,
are you not
like,
rich
that
yet?
was, yeah.
How are you not
Like-
rich yet? How are you not famous yet? Well, you're
Just
famous in San
driving,
Diego.
but just driving around,
Bro.
just.
Stick a GoPro in your car while driving and eating. Bro, that shit would go viral.
You know what's crazy? Like, I would eat to make sure I don't get anything on it, because I don't no me mancho.
No,
I
this
don't
is the manchas, no more. Sometimes you do. And I tell it, wait, no manches. And that's when you're being less careful
yeah,
here.
but
in
if
the
I
studio or
want to,
something.
you know
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
If
yeah.
I want to, I'll wear white, and I have worn white while eating birria in the car,
Oh, fuck.
and been 100% confident that I would not get a thing. If I'm pigging out, I'm gonna pig out. Like it's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
over. Like,
I've seen this too.
um,
Oh, wow, we hang out too much.
yeah.
Jeez.
So anyway,
It's a sports podcast.
it is a sports podcast.
Join us back next week for the pigging out segment. But yeah, so Sunday we had Coque Vegas.
Yes.
We had Coque Vegas who joined us. I know it was in Spanish. A lot of people did.
Some might say language restrictive, but I mean,
I
the guy
I
knows,
understood
like,
some of
a
it.
couple sentences. Let's see. Oh wow, look at that, it's right there.
I mean, 62 of you watched it. I appreciate every single one of you.
Yep.
I doubt all 62
More people
were
listened.
all Spanish speakers.
Finnish speakers. There's
Finnish.
a couple people that can give it a shot. I know on Discord people we're talking about on the locals Discord. By the way, if you are looking to have some fun and be part of a cool group of individuals and personalities, join the locals. Their membership went out. 2 balls at a mic is a locals deluxe member. I don't know if you knew that.
Of course I knew that. I saw the emails.
Oh, okay. I was actually wondering. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I
So-
see all the emails.
We're on there too. Chavos is coming up, so pay attention to what's happening. Drum Circle's coming up, so really fun things that are happening. We have a friend that's a ringer drummer for y'all. He says he's gonna rock your world. So
Yeah, he's excited.
just give us his credentials. Former marching band for San Diego State. Not Alan Underwood. But yeah, so we had Coque Vegas. It was at 11 p.m. our time.
We were a little tired.
That was a long day at work. We work in the same office, and we had Jackie earlier that day, and then we had Coque Vegas because
It's a long day.
8 a.m.
And we can't really
in Spain.
speak too loud because he's
Yeah, I mean,
people
I'm
asleep.
still in the garage. Like,
Walls
so
are
we have
thin.
these hey, ow, ow,
All kinds.
all kinds.
But yeah.
All kinds of thin. But it was 8 a.m. At 8 a.m. for him was like, bros, it's barely 8 a.m.
It's early
Like,
as fuck over there.
this is my equivalent
thing.
of your 6 a.m. over there. Like,
Yeah.
just because Spanish people, they do everything later. Like some of the games he was telling us, like are
9 p.m.
9 p.m. They start at 10 p.m. They start go to midnight,
people in
past
Spain.
midnight.
I've had friends that go to Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the clubs open at freaking midnight, 1 a.m. Like when they go party and stuff, party scene ends until 6 a.m. That's wild stuff, man. But yeah, so you could tell it was early for him. He was a little tired, so we were both tired, but he gave us some good answers, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he was really generous with his time, and he's been a really good dude to us. We're happy to have him back. But I mean, let's just jump around to see what we find as far as Coque Vegas.
Key points that I've took from this interview that people would for sure want to know. One, he lives in downtown.
Yes.
So
he lives in downtown. Yes.
He goes to a specific coffee shop.
Let me see. Come on, I got this. Google.
I know it's behind it. It's behind the coffee shop thing.
We got this coffee shop.
Coffee. You like coffee? You love.
If
coffee.
you ever, yeah, I do. If you ever want to run into Coque Vegas, not promoting or putting him on blast, but there's a section in the interview where he gives you the like his
shop,
spot,
his coffee
spot, and he's like, yeah, that's what I like.
Also, he became a big baseball fan.
He
appreciates
loves
the sport,
the game of baseball, and
not on TV.
Yeah.
On TV, he did say it's boring, and I agree with him. But in person,
yeah, he legitimately said,
called
like,
it an art.
He
called it an art of its own, and he said it's the simplest, most difficult sport there has to be.
And he concurred with amongst people who play baseball, who have been around the game. I never played, and I don't know. Like, people say it's the hardest. I'll take everybody's word for it, and I'm no contest against, like, hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in major league sports or at the top level of any given thing to do in sport. And he Coque pretty much agreed with that. Like, that has to be incredible. The amount of pressure he was talking about, like, he's seeing this as a sports fan, like as a fanatic of sport and knowing and living soccer, being just thrown into this brand new world of, like, whoa, like he was fascinated with, like, the way that, yeah, you only have 3 tries, 3 dudes, like that's it. And then we switch, and then you have a turn, and then I have a turn. And, you know, like that simplicity of literally just running
3 strikes, you're out. Yep.
Yeah. He really liked those things. And,
we got Carl saying in the chat saying, key point I got was Tony's best friends with Coldplay and romantic as fuck.
Hey, all right, guys. Cool. Like, it's great.
Hey, your best friends are coming to town.
But they are.
You look at the excitement.
Bro, they are.
You better start swiping a credit card for those tickets.
Oh, man, they go on sale this Friday. Like, can I get press passes?
Who can I get press passes?
I know people. Like, hey, dude, like, let me be a custodian janitor for a day. Like,
where's it at?
Snapdragon.
Oh, it's going to be a Snapdragon?
It's not Snapdragon.
Oh, wow.
If I go, I mean, I've met the dude. This is actually Will Champions, the drummer from Coldplay's drumstick.
Wow, look at that.
He played Viva La Vida.
Can you do a little?
He played Fix You. No, I don't have that dexterity.
Okay. I can't touch it. I can't touch that.
Come on, don't do that.
I can't.
Oh.
No, I can't.
Oh, but
wow. Oh, look at the boys. You have bigger fingers than me.
I'm not doing anything at all. But yeah, so Coque Vega. Now, what other? So yes, Coque Vegas loves Coldplay and Depeche Mode.
He does.
There's that point.
He explained why San Diego's better than LA as well.
Yes. So big takeaway. Like, let me. Do you know where that was?
It was a little earlier, kind of like around there, probably. But he did explain because we got into it, right? Why you mentioned Ricky Puig with LA Galaxy, how he can't get used to not being able to walk to places. Right? No, that's not it. That's the traveling one.
That's us telling him about his traveling.
He was very surprised by that, by the way. So.
I really hope Nate's not like, why it was going to be my big surprise. There was
here comes some breaking news. Finally,
there was an Arthur episode. There's an episode of Arthur where,
of course, there is. There's always an episode.
There's a big
of
report, and everybody has their historic person to do. Binky, the big bully, you know Binky, the bulldog-looking guy. had a report and was doing a speech on Columbus.
Yeah.
Earlier in the day, Buster the bunny didn't do his homework, but he had this killer joke because his person was King Tut. Then Binky's doing his finishes talking about like Christopher Columbus, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, why is King Tut? What does King Tut say when he's afraid? I want my mummy." The class died of laughter. Mr. Rapper and the teacher was on the floor rolling and and that was and then Buster was next, and he's like, "But that was my joke. You took that from me. That was mine." That's exactly what this felt like. Yeah,
because we took it from Nate. Wow.
Yeah.
We're assholes.
And he's gonna be like, "Damn, I didn't have a speech ready. I just had men." I don't know. He does not talk like that in training. But you know what? Let's make him that. Like men, team. We are here, and we'll be breaking records this year, just by existing.
I'm gonna be Guido talking to Joe Corona. Wow, he talks louder.
That's enough. That's enough talking. Coach is speaking.
He speaks louder than London.
Coach is speaking right now. All
yes,
right,
Coach.
All right. 15, 10, pipe down.
Damn. Hey, the boys in the chat.
Oh boy.
Look at the chat.
Oh, the boys.
Shout out Juan House.
Season's greetings.
Yes, sir.
Season's greetings by the boys.
Oh, by the way, if I don't do this shout out, someone won't listen tomorrow.
Okay.
Travis, big shout out to Travis, who said if we give him a shout out, he will listen for sure tomorrow. He will be hitting you up soon for something, Travis. We love you, Travis.
Well, we've hit the boy up. It's going to be a big project.
We love you, Travis.
Coming on up. But I mean, essentially, the thing about Koke is he said that LA stinks.
Yeah,
stinks. He hates. Yeah, doesn't hate LA, but he highly likes San Diego.
And it's a traffic ride, and it's everything to hate about LA that doesn't make it attractive to live in, which is why he lives in downtown, because it in itself is like a less crowded LA. He can walk to his coffee shop, which is across from his spot, and he can literally just have a life but still be close to home, which was very important to him, and which is why he loves San Diego. We spoke to him before the game, and we talked about this in that interview as well. We spoke to him after the last game against against Oakland.
Yeah.
And we asked him if he was going to stay or not, and he just said, if it's a chance to stay in the USL or in the US, like, I would love for it to be loyal.
Yeah.
If it's anything greater or a greater career opportunity, then he would for sure take that, obviously. He's very young to be a goalkeeper. He's 25, 26 years old, so he's very young to be a goalkeeper still.
Something we didn't bring up was him dancing with Guido and realizing that, Guido was the older one. And I hate you
because I lined it up for you and you didn't take it. Like, I lined it up. I was like, you're friends with Guido and blah, 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 and that was for you to just roll the clip and you didn't.
Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
Strike one for Tony there.
Koke knows what that means now. But essentially, like, he's happy. We asked him, like, what do you feel about coming back and having this back line now in this team?
Yes.
And, he's been with these same guys for a year at least, so knows a little bit better how to communicate with them. And so, yeah.
He feels a lot more comfortable, right? Because he knows his defenders, which is a key component when it comes to goalkeepers and his back line. So that should help out. It should definitely be a big improvement when it comes to defensive work for Loyal, which is something they struggled with last season.
Yeah.
So that's exciting to hear from your starting goalkeeper.
Look at how, like, he's a good-looking dude.
Handsome man, dude.
We talked to Danny Miller about this, and, like, from every angle, like, it's a pleasure to, like, photograph you. like that's pretty much what he was saying.
Yeah.
But I think this is where he tells us about his spot. Let's see. Vamos a ver. Ahí la gente lo va a encontrar.
Sí, vamos, incluso yo creo que si me das un segundo te lo voy a...
He
looked it up, too.
He wanted to tell you people.
He looked it up.
Sí, mira, spill the beans.
Spill the beans in downtown, fellas.
Spill the beans. If
you want to run to Coca Vegas sometime.
And I like that there's the secrecy of, like, you're going to have to find out, right? Patrocinio gratis.
He's behind the bus, right?
Behind the bus. So if, like you're gonna have to find it on your own.
Spill the beans.
Spill the beans. And no, he likes.
Now we're
he
gonna
likes
have
being
to
in
go
that
try.
area.
Have you been there?
I think I've had it.
We're gonna have to try it out and do a coffee review.
I would love to do coffee reviews in San Diego.
We're gonna have to. Like this is Coca's. Wow, we go around it.
And just
I'm not gonna throw around it because then people are gonna steal our idea, and I'm not gonna throw around it. I will let you know after the episode. I don't want people stealing my content.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Ejemplo, aquí para cruzar el país a lo mejor en camión necesitas, no sé, 15 horas. Cuando a lo mejor
we also asked him about Joe Corona signing, and he didn't really. He's never met the guy.
Yeah.
He just kind of heard his name through the game, and obviously he said his reputation's behind him, right? If he's had this experience in MLS and Liga MX, he's obviously going to be a big player for us. So that's kind of what he had up to say about Joe Corona. Anything else is, I kind of told him, well, it's another player that speaks Spanish. So that's kind of good.
So that's kind of good. Yeah,
but at the end of the day, he's pretty much communicating in English with all his teammates now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he was a good dude. We're going to work on something. Like, I mean, for the most part, if you have any questions about the interview itself, as far as like, hey, like I heard this. I saw some people.
It's really hard to make subtitles for
castellano y la forma que su Coque Vegas y pues sí, me encanta mucho San Diego. Estoy en Spill the Beans. And,
yeah, that's the
Spill the Beans que comentábamos pilla muy cerquita también de Petco Park. Por lo
Petco Park.
Tanto, no podía dejar de desaprovechar esa oportunidad de por lo menos conocerlo, ¿no? El deporte que...
So this is actually where he talks about the game and baseball and like, yeah, he's in the area, so like, no way I'm not going to go show up.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Tele, pues se me hacía aburrido. No,
yeah, it's boring on TV.
Te lo voy a negar.
He's like, I'm not going to lie.
Mi sorpresa, verlo en persona me cambió mucho mi pensamiento.
And that's what I told you, right, about baseball. I can't watch it on TV, but watching it live, it's dope. Yeah. It's a dope experience overall, and especially Petco Park being the #1 ballpark in the nation, right?
It's the best.
Like, we're spoiled when it comes to baseball. Hopefully they do good. There's a chance I might get turned into a Padres fan, Tony. So I'm just saying.
This is wild.
Just saying. I don't know. Good chance about that.
Un video con highlights de Joe y evidentemente.
So yes, I've seen some highlights from Joe and what he's all about. So you know he's gotten the gist of what type of player he is based on highlights, right? Like yeah, he's a studied man.
Some professional guys.
Fue mi primera introducción al inglés.
Yeah, Coque Vegas, guys, check out that interview. Again, if there's something that you kind of want to know about a certain minute for minute, let us know. Hey,
we will walk you.
What did Coca say from this minute to this minute? And we'll literally send you a voice message and just translate that. I'll do it. Let us know if you're.
He didn't even know that the USL did highlights of him, and he was like, "Oh wow, like this is." And we got.
Why would he?
We got a recount
of
what for him was some of the biggest saves and one of his biggest moments on there. So. 100% fantastic.
He said one of his favorite saves didn't even make that cut.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and again, it's like the guy that's making these videos, like, or girl or gal, like, you know, like maybe doesn't.
Not the penalty, right?
Like, there's certain things that I'll watch and look. Like, I was watching the Premier League, and we'll just move into that. Like, Ramsdale for Arsenal did some crazy saves. Mm-hmm. He's been doing some good stuff, but there was one very direct low stop that he did to his left where, like, it wasn't highlighted as much as it should have by the announcers. It's not like it's literally like the hardest thing to do in that position. Like if you do a bicycle kick, that's the hardest thing to do in a striker position. Like,
and you focus on that just because you're also a goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I mean, like, if you ask me and I see a save like that, I'm gonna be like, "Well, that's a great save too," but then I'll probably overlook it as well. So I mean. It's great to have Tony Sanchez, the greatest goalkeeper in San Diego.
Sorry.
To be part of the podcast here.
You know what? I was going to move on, but no, I'm not going to move on. Thank you for reminding me.
He let Coque know about his highlights.
No. I put Coque on notice.
Go ahead.
I put Coque on notice.
Talk your shit, boy.
I like, look, dude, like, you are a professional goalkeeper. You have an academy system with your dad, and your dad is a goalkeeper in La Liga. You were in La Liga. Like, come on, like, what do you think of this play, of this style, of this goalkeeping action? And then I played for him. In real time. Of course, that left-handed save. No, si se percibió I'm like, if you can see this save, it was in 2 times. He's like, yeah.
Ya no es solo que evites el gol, sino que te quedas con ella.
Exactly. He's like, it's not just that you stopped the ball from going across the line. You held it. There was no rebound. Exactly. Like, he knows.
Y el fútbol rápido tiene pues estas cosas, ¿no? Las jugadas, evidentemente, como su nombre indica, hay acciones mucho más rápidas.
Yeah, it's rapid soccer.
Muy rápido.
Yeah.
O sea,
Boom,
para girarte y
one,
estar enseguida y quedarte con él. O sea, no, me parece...
He's like, look at his face, like, genuinely surprised. He's talking about, like, the things that you have to do, like...
Estuviste muy rápido.
You were very fast
para girarte y estar...
to spin around, and then he sees on his end that from the delay the zoom in, and then look at his face.
Enseguida y quedarte con él. O sea, no, me parece...
It's a monster of a human just diving. I just kept saying Tony does not need this freaking ego like feed right now. Like,
and then I'm sorry, this is where I'm focusing. You know, again, this is my goddamn show. Let me know if people saying anything like stop, please. He's like, yeah, if I did this stop tomorrow, if I made this save tomorrow, me doing that action.
Yo no sé en qué minuto sería de partido.
I don't know what minute it was.
En un partido oficial.
In an official game?
Que viene de que la liga la ha puesto entre las top 10.
Like the league has to put it on the top 10, 100%.
O sea que, bueno, 100%. Tiene su mérito.
There's the merit is there. And then I'm like, did you think that was good? Well, let me tell you what happened 3 seconds before the game ends in a 1-0 match.
I freaking hate you right now.
With you, Chiva, being on the other side.
Guido, por ejemplo,
you liked
sucked.
El círculo central. So then, yeah, he shot it.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Run it back.
Volaste, güey. ¿Qué, güey? Volaste, vato. I don't know why I'm barely seeing it like that right now.
You haven't seen it that way?
No, I have, but wait, volaste. I haven't. I've kept a close eye on this, like closing my eyes on it, just because it was my shot,
yeah,
and it didn't go in, and I'm mad about it. But wait, you fucking flew. Look at wait. You're off the air. Play it again. Keep playing a little bit. ¿Te dolió?
No.
Oh. No me dolió. It didn't hurt. Okay.
Ooh.
El gol, pero se acabó el tiempo.
Se acabó el tiempo.
Ahí bullshit.
And he's like, that's how it ended?
En
ese momento.
Bullshit.
Look at that. Look at that.
Ripped. We got robbed there, man.
You hadn't seen that?
No. I know, but I'm so mad at you for stopping that. I'm blocking
like,
it.
El círculo central. If you, like, real time, dude, like, that's...
Your whole body's off the air there, like, and you're not landing feet first.
Es lonca primero. So yeah,
look at us, freaking 3 weeks still after. Is it 3 weeks? It's still talking about your fucking soccer's performance. God damn, can we freaking move on already? I'm tired of this shit.
Iker Casillas here in studio, like, Iker, tú, o sea, dime, ¿qué es lo que crees? Next time we have Jimmy Conrad. Hey, Jimmy, like, you've seen me play. Like, what do you think about this action? Like, you know.
Well, Tony, you
roll the clip.
You are 60 pounds heavier than when I saw you play. And it's still just as impressive. But yeah, man, check out that interview with Coque Vegas if you haven't. Great interview. Also, check out the one we have with Jackie from Women Kickballs.
Yeah.
It's great stuff that we were able to drop with them this week. And we might not drop really anything else this week just because we will be focusing. We have the doubleheader on Sunday for soccer, so it's
a little bit of prep. I know Tony stresses out a little bit when we have soccer in Spanish, so he'll go in stress mode soon.
I'm sorry. We are going to be streaming live on Canela, so check out Canela.
Make sure you download Canela. If you have Roku Smart TVs, Canela's on there.
Canela. Let your people know. Let your friends know.
And we'll be posting that links.
Who was it?
Sure,
JPabs. I think Carl was posting it. That was watching us. I really appreciate.
And if you can't, that's watch. If you can't go live. Yeah. If you can't go live, go live. And then say hi to us. We'll hang out.
We'll be there.
We'll talk to some people.
100%. But speaking of, again, good goalkeeper play. Again, this is kind of what.
So this is transitioning to
Premier League. Good goalkeeper play too. This was the game of the week.
Yeah.
I mean,
first place against third place.
If we look at it, right, let's see. Premier League standings right now, Arsenal sits atop, Man City, Newcastle, Man United in fourth.
Not only that, Arsenal is top 5 points clear with a game in hand, so they could possibly still go 8 points.
They will play Manchester City twice. They still have to play them twice, and that's the thing. All they need would be to tie those games, one of those two games, and
pretty much,
and you win every other game, of course. Literally halfway through the season now. Chelsea over in 10th next to Liverpool, who tied 0-0 in what could be described as exactly what we fucking thought would happen. I mean, in that game, we had the debut of the boy that was going to go over to Arsenal. Could you imagine if he was in Arsenal?
Mudryk? Oh, dude. I was telling you, are we talking about Mudryk right now? Is that what we're going to do right now?
Sure.
Chelsea, Liverpool, who on paper was supposed to be a great game.
Yeah.
If you were talking last season.
Those games were the best.
It is very laughable.
Those games were the absolute best.
So you look at Liverpool's lineup, right, and you have Thiago, who is coming back from injury. You have Van Dijk out, and then you have Milner playing right back, who essentially at this point he's kind of playing any position you throw him in. Elliott is a freaking talent as well, though.
Yeah, so he got injured. He was playing really well. He got a really big injury, but he's back now. Like, ese morro, is talented.
Watch out for this kid. He's really good.
Again, zoom out. Like, this is, I don't know how England haven't won a Euro, at least with this generation. Like,
it's not meant to be.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Cody Gakpo, who's joining from the who had a great World Cup in Netherlands, and it's just not working out for Liverpool. It's kind of the end of an era for. Do you believe in that? It's end of eras.
100%. Like I saw Mourinho, and I throw Mourinho somewhere on this for the U.S. because I might become a U.S. fan, just like you might become a Dodger fan.
I don't think
I would. I
don't think he would coach the U.S.
I would smile upon the U.S. for.
Would you gladly leave Mexico for that?
Because I wouldn't leave Mexico. I would just. You
can't be both.
I know 100%, but I would just be a plastic fan, just like incognito Mexican fan. And I just watched the impending doom of the Mourinho bus, just like it's happened at Chelsea. It's 3 years. It's 3 years. Coming.
Yeah.
I would love it. Right. I would love it.
And Liverpool's coming to an end.
Chelsea is a shithole.
What's the deal with Chelsea?
Injuries.
Yeah, but you've also spent the most money since 20-something.
This is not Ultimate Team. This is not Ultimate Team.
But all the talent on paper that you have Kai Havertz, who since this girl broke up with him has not been the same. He got that buzz cut, and he's just
buzz cut. Havertz is a sad Havertz.
Mason Mount, who is not in form right now, but he's still very talented. You guys are trying to sell him.
Position.
And you know what? You guys are gonna end up selling him to Liverpool, Arsenal, or something for $35 million. And it's gonna be a steal. I hope you try to get him.
Like Newcastle, because
Newcastle has money, and they could.
That's wild. Like Newcastle's a wild case because they haven't really splashed the cash on.
They have though. It's just
they
been
have,
super
but
low
it's very smart moves.
And it's kind of like how Man City started. Mm-hmm. They bought Carlos Tevez, and they bought Robinho, and that's kind of how it started. And then they bought some low-key players at the time, like Kun Agüero. Kun Agüero was a low-key player. Then you had David Silva, who was also a low-key player. Then you had Kompany, who was a low-key player at the time, and they developed into great talent. You look at Newcastle, right?
There's no development here. at all. There's nothing. Like, sure, you have Chalobah. Sure, I mean, Hall is a midfielder.
Yeah.
Who's playing left back for some reason. Like, it's Cucurella. You have to play him up further up. It's just a mess. I mean, this team sucks. This game sucks. 0-0, ass, terrible, gross. Get out of here. It's the worst.
It's because you have talent like Isaac, who coming off the bench, Saint Maximin, and then you have known players already. Mitrovic, who proved himself last season in the Championship League, and then you have you remember Kurosawa? Kurosawa starting at
PSG
left back.
legend, bro.
Brandon Leno starting at goalkeeper, who's just also been in the known. So you have this low-key players who are talented, and eventually you're going to start. If you make Champions League, you start attracting bigger talent as well. So right now they're sitting third place with freaking 18 games left. So they're still in a good position. So just watch out for teams like Newcastle, who's just blasting money and low-key players.
100%.
Paying them high amounts. But yeah, and then you go back to Chelsea, who's just spending money in so many freaking players that now you don't even know who you're going to have to start when they come back. Raheem Sterling's going to end up coming back from injury, and now you have Modric.
Offload. Kante's on his way out. Aubameyang is done.
What, as a Chelsea fan, what do you really feel like it's the problem with Chelsea? Because Modric, I think, is a good signing. 100 million is expensive, but he looked electrifying. He looked very good.
I don't see what
reminded me a little bit of Prime Hazard.
I don't know. No, I don't.
It kind of did.
But it's the first game. He's electrified. Let's see what he does when he's in the starting lineup and is failing to do crosses.
I know. But we're able to talk about what we saw right now, which is what I'm getting
defenders. We need defenders. We need defenders. Like Chelsea needs not so many wingers. I get the Potternomics is
Rudiger leaving was a blow for sure.
Yeah, I mean
for sure,
entirely. But you should have been ready for this. Koulibaly came in, and it's just. I mean, there's no chemistry. There's like you're just jamming pegs together, throwing money at it.
It doesn't look good for Chelsea. I really.
But guess what?
You're not winning the Champions League, dude.
Chelsea's winning the Champions League.
That's very hopeful.
Chelsea is winning La Champions. Just stamp it. It's over. Like back it up. Not like Man, you can win the Champions League.
No, we can't. Probably won't win the Euros facing Barcelona either. Who just are playing okay, I guess.
All right, so let's go here into pretty much the game of the weekend. We were talking about it.
Yeah. First place
Arsenal?
against third place. Who would have thought if you say it last year, they tell you, hey, game of the week is going to be Arsenal Man United, and they're literally both maybe title contenders.
And people and the commentators talk about it. I really enjoy it. I'm a purist. I like it when the good teams are supposed to be doing good. Do good. It's good when the Yankees play well. It's good when the Lakers are championship. It's good when Real Madrid and Barcelona are doing excellent. Like, it's good when Arsenal and Man U are doing good. It was sad. I mean, don't worry about Chelsea. We've won stuff in the last.
Yeah. Man U hasn't won a trophy since 2017. So,
how many years is that?
7.
7 years. That's a long time, right? Yeah. Like we won Champions League between the we're good. But it's good when Man U does well. But it was sad, like with Januzaj times. Adnan Januzaj, Fellaini.
It was very rough times.
With Mourinho dragging Fellaini into the cup.
This is obviously the best Man United team we've seen in a long time. And obviously, it's 6 months of what Ten Hag was able to do, right? He kind of changed that mentality. Mm-hmm. You were right about Ronaldo. He did good last season, but you were right about Ronaldo. He was a toxic player to have in the locker room just because everything had to revolve around him. The guy's already 38 years old. There's very limited things you can do around a 38-year-old who's just kind of there for the money at this point.
Beto, has he scored in the Saudi Arabia League? I saw him play. I saw him destroy a player.
He scored twice against PSG.
But can he do it in a rainy day in Saudi Arabia? A sandstorm.
The biggest downfall for this United team against Arsenal was Casemiro got a yellow card in the last game. He wasn't able to start this game. And Casemiro, he has a 69% winning. He has a winning percentage of 69% with Manchester United when he starts, and when Manchester United don't have him starting, it's not the best. But anyway, you start McTominay, who didn't have a bad game either. The lineup on its own was really strong. I like when we have Licha and Varane starting together. They complement each other very well. Wan-Bissaka, his biggest weakness has always been man marking in the box. Defensive-wise, he's not there. He has the best live tackling probably in the league still.
Yeah.
And his crossing got a little better, but man marking always kills him, which is where Dalot is a lot better. So hopefully Dalot's able to come back soon from injury. Luke Shaw was great. He wasn't terrible. He's able to play center back sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top you have Anthony, who, by the way, just had a terrible game. You keep telling me that Anthony's just not it.
He's not that guy.
I give him time, dude. It's his first season.
You know that guy? That's not him.
Oh, he's not him.
That's not he's not him.
I think he is. I mean, he scored against Arsenal already earlier this season. So, but you know who's him right now?
Marcus Rashford is playing really well.
9 goals since the World Cup. Who is the top goal scorer in all European 5 leagues?
The ear.
Also, the celebrations with the ears.
Like, there's a lot of ear celebrations happening in the world. I think Messi started the bolillo with the Riquelme.
Well, this is Rashford's original right here with the finger to the ear, but Marcus Rashford is just the hottest player in the world right now. He 9 goals since the World Cup. He is literally the most goals.
But can he do it on a sandstorm in Saudi Arabia?
No, can Haaland probably can.
Wait,
Bruno Fernandes.
Haaland's a chicharra. Like, he wouldn't be able to handle it.
Bruno Fernandes also had a great game.
But that first goal is you know, he's fast. Rashford has everything. He's fast. He can dribble. He can do everything. He has a great shot, and that's just lethal. The finishing is there, and he's putting it all together. That's a 10. Like, honestly, he's playing like a Manchester United 10, and he's doing really well right now. He just doesn't have what around him. Or did Manchester United just lose to the better team?
I think Manchester United did lose to the better team. Arsenal are just on another freaking level right now. And it's freaking Mikel Arteta's just freaking project for, what is it, 3 years already, right? You end up freaking signing Martinelli for like $6 million. You sign Odegaard for $30 million, which is at this point a freaking bargain when you think about what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
You have Saka and Nketiah, who are freaking academy players.
Yeah.
So you score there. You have still talent like Thomas Bartley and Xhaka, who are playing great. And the biggest signing they did, I think, this offseason was Zinchenko. This man has been very important for them. With the freaking Guardiola mentality of a team of winning titles. And there's a quote that has been going around on Twitter about this after this game, saying that when he was in the locker room, he said, guys, we got to stop thinking about top 3 or third and fourth place. We got to start thinking about titles.
Yeah.
And the players would laugh it off. And he said, nobody's laughing now because it's happening. And you mentioned Ramsdale, who's having a phenomenal season.
Yeah, he fucked up in that goal. Like, 100%. Like, he fucked up on that goal. But, again, let's talk about the back and forth, right? So, Man U scored first in the first half.
Yeah. Look at Bissaka's marking.
And
terrible.
Then, yeah, Wan-Bissaka's terrible marking there. Like, there was really no help there, no communication. Nobody really was marking that front side either. But
it's a classic. Even when we watch San Diego Loyal play and something like this happens, we freaking go at it, right? Well, this player missed his mark and it cost the goal. And that's what happened in this one.
I mean, ¿cómo se llama este güey?
Licha
Martinez, like, doesn't have that reach to where, like, he can cover the skies a little bit better. Like, he has to rely on turning around and making it there with his speed. So then he could beat you with the header. So, it's not ideal for that.
It was a good cross, too. It was honestly a really good play.
Yeah, it was a really good play. You exploit the side that has the short side, the short center back.
I mean, at the end of the day, you attack the side when you notice that Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka were both together on one side. So you exploit that left side, that right side for Man United already. And eventually you get a good header.
How good is the half playing now?
Huh?
Like how good is the half playing right now? Like,
I just playing good. He makes some mistakes sometimes, but he had a big save late in the game as well before they scored the winning goal. But just overall, the game was back and forth. I was very impressed with Manchester United still. And then freaking Saka's just something else too, dude.
Somebody else is something else is Odegaard. Martin Odegaard is, people forget, where did he come from? Real Madrid. Like, he was supposed to be the next 10 for Madrid for years. But then Modric and Cruz decided to not age or something, and there was just no space. Isco came and went. Modric and Cruz stayed. They've had Odegaard come through.
Remember when they signed him like at 14 years old, and he was
going
like,
to be the next big deal,
talent.
100%.
He's him now.
And he's had
here.
some setbacks, but that play that he had in the second half where he did that elastico pass.
A reverse elastico pass, too.
Reverse elastic.
Yeah.
We're getting into weird Tony Hawk.
Dude, Odegaard's only 24, dude.
By the way, we're still going to have Danny Miller on. That interview will be coming up here in a bit. San Diego Loyal social media guy. So take a look at that. Can't really say.
That was a great pass. That pass was great.
See if they have a close-up to that so I can click, click, click. Technically, it's not showing the video. It is pictures of it, so it's fine. Yeah, just watch this, as they're saying.
Boom. Yeah, try to rewind that
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to super slow this down.
Oh, I'm not going to copyright school again.
You did not go to copyright school. I did that for you, and it's fine. So Martin Odegaard sees the pass as he's in stride right there.
By the way, Danny Miller joining. We had him earlier, and we're gonna show you our conversation that we had, just because timing wise wasn't gonna work if you joined us this late. But we will be throwing that up during the episode for you guys.
100%. So here you can see him controlling that ball. He already did the inside fake with the point of his toe, and so he's bringing it back with the outside. Reverse elastico, like it's exactly what's going on there, and not even a reverse elastico. The pass for it, it was a pass. It wasn't just trying to get past the player.
Licha's tackle was freaking dope too, though.
Yeah, that's just a good play on all accounts.
It's the best against the best right now.
He's
really,
the best.
Like,
the best.
He's the best.
Ramsdale is the best. Ramsdale is the best.
Licha Martinez.
But Licha Martinez played a really good game. I was impressed by him. So I was telling you, like,
bro,
I can appreciate players.
He's been doing this since he got here.
Like he puts
Gracias por llamarle morro.
He
called him a kid. He's calling him a kid. Morro. Morro means kid in Spanish. He's my age. You're calling me a morro. Thank you.
Licha Martinez, he puts the passion. He's having fun out there. Like, you could tell he's really enjoying the game, and it's really fun to see that. This was Moros.
Procrastinating Puma saying, "Oh man, well, I trust you guys to ask the hard-hitting questions that I have come to expect from you hard-hitting journalists." It wasn't hard-hitting with Danny Miller. It's just more to promote the things he has upcoming. But we'll get to that one in a little bit. But yeah, Saka just scored a banger, right, against Manchester United.
Right now.
Saying, all right, Rashford, I take yours and freaking raise it by something else, by more. And just kind of curled it a little bit. Power shot with a little bit of a curl on it. It's just
the angle which he hit it is what's impressive. He wasn't facing the goal at all.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like a super curl. Like, it was powerful. It had to get there. Didn't touch the ground before it went in. Like, it was a rocket and impossible. They didn't see it until later. No. Impossible. Yeah, he was going to score it again.
He was and it hit the post.
It again,
dude.
and it hit the post.
Freaking post, man.
He is definitely a really good talent for the future. And again, I think, like, why hasn't England won something important?
Oh, because they missed the penalties. They did lose in penalties. The Euros. So,
but then Licha Martinez comes back.
Crack the cracks.
That's just a schoolyard game.
Crack
goal.
The cracks.
Like, eso lo haces en el recreo, güey. Like, you just do that. Che golazo que hizo este morro. El chaparrito, the short guy. Like, oh my God, like, there was only one way that ball could possibly go, and it was a floated, diving, dolphin dive of a header by the guy with the headband. Like, exactly. Optics. Ramsdale comes out really, really poorly. He tries to hand it where he should have punched it out.
He's the first player to score a header on Arsenal this season in the Premier League.
So you see right here, Ramsdale's trying to catch it.
Should have punched it out.
Should have punched it out. Like it doesn't matter if that guy is your teammate or not. Like I know he doesn't know that's his teammate, but you punch it out. If you take the head off, I'm sorry. Like you got to be violent.
Take the head out. Yeah.
Massive mistake.
Dude, great. It was a good goal, man. Almost got it out on the line, but
Yeah, it was a really good goal.
And it's Licha, dude. Like, you gotta love him. He's coming back from winning a World Cup and scores his first goal for Manchester United. And then Arsenal just the dagger. Wasn't offsides from anyone. It sucks. Zinchenko.
89th minute. Pass to Trossard, who came to Arsenal that Friday.
Yep. Who came in and just freaking changed that midfield up, too, man. What a great signing from Arsenal.
Super impact.
And you know what? I can't even be mad. Arsenal are playing good. And they're playing at the talent. And I only hope that in the coming years, Arsenal and Man U have this rivalry again where they're both the best. If another Manchester team doesn't get in the way of that. But great performance, entertaining game. And that's kind of what people wanted, right? I had a friend that's texted me who's a Liverpool fan said, I really hope this game is boring. Well, it was not boring.
It wasn't. And my thing is that, and I think I don't think I did. I put it on the doc and this is how I felt during it this is exactly like, this is what modern football is. Yeah. This is what modern soccer, this is the poster child for what soccer is now. It's VAR checking everything. It's even at post game, they were talking about like, oh, yeah, sometimes you look at the goals and then you're like, oh no, not the purple screen. Like, like that's what the players refer to it. Like, the pace was super fast, super attacking. The players involved, like the old guard is just out. Like this is a new blood, the new generation. Little things, right? Like the tactics that are now being thought of. I don't know how I feel. I know how I feel about it. I don't like goal kicks inside of the box.
Old school, dog.
You can't do that.
Old school.
You assholes are doing something. What was it? You? No. Was it you? I think it was you. Where the play starts in a goal kick with De Gea not receiving the goal, not kicking the ball. He received
the pass. Yeah, that was Man U.
I don't like that.
And you don't have to.
I don't like.
You don't have to like it, but that's what it is.
Not even
now.
that Arsenal had their own, where at kickoff they started and the ball it starts all the way back to Ramsdale, and then Ramsdale boots it all the way up because he has which makes sense because everybody's doing that now. Like, and I hate that actually. Like, just start with possession with the ball. Why are you gonna 50-50 immediately? Like,
it's the reason why they're in first place.
No, but that's just soccer now. Like everybody does that. Like this is what I'm saying about like modern soccer. Like that
game is changing.
That's what it is. It's crazy. It's fun. It's wild. Other side of modern football, Haaland, 4th hat trick. He's now had the same amount of hat tricks as Ronaldo. I think.
No, he surpassed already. Ronaldo had 3. This guy has 4 now.
Yeah,
25 goals in 19 games. 4th hat trick this season. He passed all the Golden Boot winners from it was 2 last season with Salah and Son, and then he passed the 2 years ago as well. They all had 23, so now he's at 25 with 19 games, which is freaking insane. But do you think Haaland would be this dominant with another Premier League team? Do you think he'd be at 25 goals right now if he was, say, in freaking Chelsea?
No, I mean you have Kevin De Bruyne pulling the strings, right? Who's pulling the strings at Chelsea? Like. It's not that type of play, man.
But he was doing numbers with Dortmund too.
I mean, put Haaland in Arsenal. Oof, that's fun.
And we forget about Arsenal. They have Gabriel Jesus injured.
Oh, by the way, this is the moment I knew. I told you earlier that Man City was going to lose was the Ballon d'Or.
I don't know why he did that.
Like went to ground, he got tagged.
Maybe try to get him.
Don't do that. I mean, yeah, don't do that. Fall, sure. I'll give you the fall, but at least duélete in the spot where you were touched. He goes down.
How many times have we seen players do this though?
I mean, yeah, no, 100%. But my thing is like,
Se agarra la pierna, no?
yeah, like he grabs the leg, he grabs the shoulder. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, that's not what happened. But yeah,
man, Premier League is up and running. It's interesting to watch. Still, in my opinion, the best league in the world. Bundesliga came back as well. Finally, it's been a while since we've seen them. Gio Reyna scored an okay goal. Nothing too much. The Kings League is up and running. There was a poll saying if Piqué should be allowed to play in one of the semifinals or in the final for one of the teams, and I think more than half the owners said yes, and some of them said no. Agüero said no.
Of course,
why would you
say yes? Play? Why would you? Yeah, it's a competition. Like these are
like
competitors.
You think Piqué maybe can't keep him? He's a professional.
We're talking about our charity match. We're probably going to do looking at maybe October, November. I'm thinking about like if we have professional players, like they're gonna get into it. Like if we have like one or two people, like I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Like that's the last thing I want to do. It's just like
they wear a mask.
Like, hey, that's not a bad idea.
It's different. But yeah. So we're very much in the process of just brainstorming and ideas right now for that charity match. But yeah. Premier League is up and running, and it's going good. Juventus had a scandal. Mm-hmm. Let's get into that a little bit, right? Do you know exactly what it was financially, what they messed up on?
Why can't they just get it together, bro?
It's a historic thing for Juventus, right? Always getting caught cheating with something or freaking being corrupt with something.
They're so bad at it. Like, descarados, too. Like,
yeah. They've gotten relegated before because of shit like this.
But they don't have Del Piero who's going to stay with them and then bring him back.
They got no one now to stay with them.
You're going to sell the
Blažović wants out already.
Yeah, like it's oh my God.
So they got deducted 15 points and went from 3rd place to 10th place or 11th place in the Serie A, which is insane. But watch them make a comeback and just win it. I doubt it. Not with the team they have. And it's AC Milan just playing the way they're playing. And Inter Milan, Lautaro Martinez scoring a freaking beautiful goal. Who, by the way, Lautaro Martinez is probably is one of those players that in their national team won't do shit, but when they play with the team they love, they will do stuff. They will be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, he's a club player. Like there's those.
Sanchez was a club player.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like there are those teams, but it just sucks when Juventus is in the middle of this because they're historic team. This all happens because they changed their logo, their crest. I hate the J.
Did you see how they switched the double J's to like a 15?
Just kidding.
Oh man, people are on it.
Wild. I love it.
Yeah, dude. People on the internet are freaking ruthless, man. Is what breaking news? 619 Soccer. Did we just have breaking news and we didn't notice? Charity match, maybe like in October, November. Oh man, but yeah, dude, like it's honestly very exciting stuff coming up for us. Is there anything else?
Funny? You know what's fun?
What's fun?
What's happening in LA Galaxy?
What's happening in LA Galaxy?
It's not funny. It's not fun. But their supporters group told, like, I think all of the majority of the supporters group, La Porra, was like, you got to fire your GM because we've sucked and nothing's happened and this guy sucks. So we're not showing up for games anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So that's fun. That's all coming on down. But other than that, I think it's time just to throw it to Danny Miller. I think so. We're on that pace. Let's get it up, set it up, just because he was gracious enough with his time. He was going to pick up some of the individuals that are involved in the San Diego Loyal event that's coming up on Saturday over at the Hangar in El Cajon at 6 p.m. So get your registration on for some freestyle soccer. We also talked to him about what went into that the season schedule release video at Balboa Park and how that came together. And I mean, it was really like one of those things where you hear bands are like, oh, like we had the album done and we were just messing around and and then John over here played this little riff, and it became and it's like the biggest song in their history. So that's kind of what happened here, and so yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. So enjoy. Danny Miller will still be here. So if you have comments, we're gonna go ahead and do that. It was a pre-recorded right before.
Right before it was today.
It was fresh, right, hot off the press.
We'll be back after this to kind of wrap things up for everyone. But yeah, enjoy this interview with Danny Miller and check it out on Saturday.
All right, we are here with a special segment because we have a special guest. We've had an eclectic array of people from San Diego Loyal, your friendly neighborhood USL club. But now we have somebody who we haven't had. We've had kin of this individual, but we haven't had him here. He's here to talk about Foreign Jam 3 happening at the Hangar this weekend. A really cool event hosted by San Diego Loyal and organized by the great Danny Miller. Danny, ¿cómo estás?
Hey, how are you guys? You're too kind.
Good, man.
Great to be on.
Good, man.
Very excited to be here.
100%, man. So, I mean, welcome. I know, we've had it's been a long time coming, right? I promised you this like season whenever you came in. I'm like, oh, this guy's cool. For those who are uneducated, Danny is here, who is phone emoji 4 at San Diego Loyal.
At least that's what the bio says.
Is that correct to say?
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. I'm gonna have my business cards changed. I am phone emoji at San Diego Loyal. That's the best way to describe it.
But yeah, I mean, you've been doing it here for a while. You came over from up in the Pacific Northwest with another famous soccer institution, coming on down. And then we actually christened you with your first San Diego Tacos, I believe.
That's right. Yeah. You took me and Weston out literally my first week here. You took us to Taco del Gordo, and yeah, my life has never been the same since. That still is the standard for good tacos to me. I love that spot. So that changed the game for sure. I don't think I've been back to a Chipotle since that.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge.
Wow, I'm a fan of Chipotle too. I know you are too.
You know what? Chipotle gets a bad rap. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's tiers above Taco Bell. If you're going to Taco Bell, you're not going, premium quality stuff. Like, the ingredients are fresh. They come together in a vast array. But no, we've had a good relationship going back since then. I believe tacos is the ultimate equalizer amongst people here. But you do have a pretty important job here for San Diego Loyal. And then this event came up with our good friends over at the Hangar, Foreign Jam 3. So can you tell us something about Foreign Jam 3 and what to look forward to?
Yeah, absolutely. So Foreign is a company that I co-founded along with my co-founder, Fahad Al-Breiki from the UAE. Essentially, it's a soccer freestyle apparel company. We make clothing, but we focus primarily on events. So basically, the long and short of it is that we were both competing in the U.S. At the time. This was around like 2016. And there was no good international events in the U.S. They were all U.S. specific. So the USA Championships, USA qualifiers, and there was no good international events where international freestylers at a high level would come to the U.S. and compete. All the good ones were overseas. So our thought was, no one's really stopping anyone from doing it. So we should just start having the international competitions in the US. So around 2016, 17, we held our first one in Chicago, had people from about 9 different countries come through. And then 1 year later, we had it in New York, had about the same turnout. And then took a little bit of a break, he had to travel, and then COVID, but we're back for number 3 and it's looking to be our best one yet. Loyal has been kind enough to sponsor it. So shout out to SD Loyal and everyone over there for helping make this a reality. And of course at the Hangar with Keith and Mindy. So, we're really excited about it. I think turnout is going to be really big. And as far as like the level of freestyle, it's going to be the best it's ever been. So open to the public, RSVP. I think everyone remembers like the first time they see freestyle soccer at a high level in person. you can see it on Instagram and YouTube and it's crazy, but in person, it's just something different. So I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be great to bring, high level freestyle to San Diego.
100%. And, we've seen, I guess, are some of the individuals, or it's along the same lines of the people you see as you walk into the plaza for Most Loyal games, into that fountain area. Like you'll see a couple of people just doing crazy tricks, like just insane things that they do with the same ball that everybody else can use. And it's really cool to see that expression of the game, right? I know yourself, like there was, and I'll pull it up right now. There was footage that came out of you, Danny, and you got some skills. Like,
no,
is that your style? Is that what you're the creme de la creme? You're the best of the best?
No, not at all. I mean, first of all, I think if you're talking about the clip, I think you're talking about Bridgebrook kind of had to dig so deep for that clip. That was back when my knees could still operate like that. But yeah, no, I used to compete. I used to take it really seriously. There was a time where I even left high school soccer to compete in this, and I was doing some tours with Futboleros, if you know Futboleros, doing some halftime shows for MLS teams, and made a lot of very good friends through that, and it's been a big part of my life. But after a while of doing it, I kind of left the competitive side and got more into the community side of it, and sort of helping do what I can to grow the sport in the US. And one of the ways we do that is by hosting, Foreign Jam and bringing sort of like an international level here. So it's been great to really like still be in the scene without, having to like train day in and day out and spend all these hours with it. So I can more or less have like a normal life, but still, be a part of this community and like this really niche, weird scene that, meant a lot to me growing up and is still very important to me now. So just happy to be bringing it all back. But yeah, the skills are unfortunately no longer anywhere near that level.
It's all good.
And Danny, can people sign up? Is it just professionals, or tell us a little bit how, if anyone's interested in maybe participating?
Yeah, so registration to compete is now closed. We have a lot of high-level athletes competing, and then some people that one thing I'm really excited about was we have a good number of people where this is their first competition. Nice. So a fun story, actually, at our first ever event, there was a kid that no one had ever heard of. He had just found out about us through a Facebook, it just showed up as a recommended event. I think his mom Googled freestyle soccer United States and Foreign Jam 1 just showed up, and he got her to buy a ticket from Maine to fly out and compete. And no one had ever heard of this kid. It was his first ever competition, and he did really well, but it was kind of a catalyst for him of training. Like, he met other freestylers for the first time. He got really inspired. And then fast forward a few years, that kid ended up winning the USA Championships and did very, very well in the World Championships with Red Bull. So that's kind of the idea of Foreign, is like to provide that sort of catalyst, that spark for like new freestylers, but then also still facilitate community for people who have been in the scene for a long time. So I'm really excited that there's going to be some people where this is their first competition, because I think that's really important, is to like get to push yourself against people who have done this before and kind of provide that spark for younger people. So yeah, it's RSVPing to attend is still open. It's free. It's going to be a great event. Flavors of East Africa are going to be there, if you know them from game day.
Excellent.
But yeah, you have a good mix of people competing from overseas. Connor Reynolds coming from Ireland is going to be there. Laura Biondo from France is going to be there. Caitlin Schretfer, who just won the World Championships, is going to be there.
Oh, wow.
Maximiliano, who's actually local from Chula Vista, is going to be there. He's an incredible athlete. And then, yeah, just people from all over, and it's going to be a really good time. But
and that's wonderful to be able to see the best of the best doing their best is in anything is. I mean, I'll watch just YouTube of a professional street vendor in like Thailand, just knowing what to do, just blind with like that guy knows what he's doing, and just to do what
it's an art of
we
its
love.
Own,
yeah, it's an art of its own, 100%. It's a performance. It's everything. So what is judging? I mean, I'm sorry, like if I'm getting to the weeds of it, but like, how do you judge this?
Yeah, so we actually try and break the mold a little bit, where we focus at Foreign a bit more on personality, if that makes sense. So some competitions, obviously, you know, it's tough to like really quantify something like freestyle. It's like, how do you judge skateboarding or snowboarding, right? So there's no point system. It's all done. You go with an odd number of judges. So it's either 3 or 5, typically, most often 3. We're running with 3 judges. The most notable one is PWG. A lot of people know of. He's been to the Loyal Games before, but he's won the Asian Championships a couple of times. He's a really awesome guy, but he's going to be our head judge. You just point right or left to which freestyler, and each judge kind of looks for their own things. One we look for is like originality, and then we look for like flow, like how well you're playing with the music. Difficulty for sure. You know, if you're doing higher level tricks than the opponent is one thing, but it's not just who can do the hardest stuff. It's like, what are you presenting? You know, it really is an art. Like freestyle soccer kind of lands in that category of some other sports where it's like partially art, partially sport. You know, it's like, it's a lot about creativity, personality, performance, you know. So what you're seeing here, that's PWG, our head judge. He's, you know, an excellent battler. I don't know if you can hear, but everything he's doing right there is on beat. It's to the music. It's so it's, you know, fortunately I'm not a judge, but yeah, it's a very fun thing to judge and watch.
That was one of my areas of not focus.
Me
was
too.
was
Me too.
you know,
I suck at freestyling.
like I don't even know what's the term in English, because in Spanish is ¿cómo se llama? Hacer, dominadas. Dominar la bola. It's what's the term? It's kick ups. Just keep you up.
Yeah.
Keep you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juggling.
Okay. Juggling. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like I want to make sure there is that term. But not it's really awesome. And again, to have the best of the best just here in San Diego, it really speaks to the culture that is being just grown here, and that's another part of that, you know, street soccer element, and something that you and I don't know if this is breaking news, but your relatives, your brothers with Nate Miller, and that's something that he himself has told us.
Breaking news.
I don't know. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. You know, I want to be blacklisted by the Twitter account. I'm not saying anything, but no, like it's that street style that, like, because I've asked him, what does U.S. soccer need, right? And it's that street style and that flair that comes with this types of, you know, maneuvering with the ball. It's unorthodox. Like if you were to show just a Puritan of soccer in the most boring sense of pass this, pass that, like this goes beyond that. Break the mold and just have fun with it. And that's what I like about the freestyle world, is that it's genuinely a great time and it's skill beyond comprehension sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a way to express yourself, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like when I was freestyling, after a while, I stopped really training to compete, because, you know, I got into it just because I wanted to learn the tricks, and it was genuinely really fun. You know, I didn't get into freestyle to win competitions. So for me personally, after a while, I kind of wanted to do more of like the informal meets and just still train and make videos and do cool stuff, but without having to think about like winning a competition. So part of the thing that we want to do with Foreign too is like have a competition that's definitely a competition, and people want to be competitive and want to win, but still make it some type of environment where, like, going back to the basics of like why every freestyler started freestyle, and that's really just because it's fun. Like it really is. It's crazy. Like you just need a ball, but you know, growing up in Africa, like I had a ball with me all the time, and that's really like when I started it. Before I even knew what it was called, I just would like. I remember seeing like those old Jogo Bonito videos and seeing like Henri do that little flick off his heel, and I was like, "What?" Like it's crazy, and just really going back to like fundamentally, you just do it because you love it and it's fun, and you do it because you want to. So if we can create like an event and a competition that really just like is fueled by that love of it, like that's really what we aim to do.
I'm into it. I'm like old dog, new tricks does not compute for me, so I will enjoy it because it takes strength. They are athletes. What they do, just think about it, right? Going slowly down while dribbling the ball with one foot, doesn't matter. There's no weak foot. Just going down slowly and bending your knee in some yoga pose and maintaining focus and having everything on beat, like it's amazing.
What would be considered like the most difficult trick someone could do out there? What's the wildest trick you've got to see?
The triple bye birdie.
Yeah, you nailed it. There's really no way of answering that. There's multiple styles in freestyle. There's lowers, there's uppers, there's blocks, there's creative, like transitions. Anything like related to Jordan stall, I won't give it away, but you'll probably see them at Foreign Jam. It involves a handstand and the ball on the bottom of your foot while it's up in it. Like there's crazy stuff that people do acrobatically, but then there's just really technical things that only a few people in the world can do. So I don't think there's like one universally agreed on very hard trick, but there's definitely tricks out there that only like one person can do or a handful of people can do, or so it really is insane. Like I've been in freestyle for a long time and I still see stuff every day on Instagram where I'm like, I didn't even think that was possible, or that concept has never even crossed my mind and people were doing it. So it's pretty crazy.
It's if Eminem and an 8 Mile met soccer.
Like yeah, it's just I love that analogy.
Love it. Again, make sure you fill out that registration form, still out, in order to, make sure you get out there, make sure you're accounted for, taken care of. January 28th, this weekend, Foreign Jam 3. Doors open at 6 p.m. over at the Hangar in El Cajon. Shout outs again to the Hangar for that. And again, this is I will be the first one to say and be honest and look in the mirror, man in the mirror. And say I'm critical sometimes of what comes out of the team that is representing my city, especially in the sport that I love. With that said, this is exactly what we were asking for, and we asked for is more culture, more cultura. There you go. So thank you, well done as far as yourself, Danny, the club version of Danny, and everything that you represent with Loyal. So I really appreciate that. Also, on that same vein, very critical of things that get filmed around, because we got out of Chicano Park. I love it. Thank you, Loyal. Let's go. And what better place, and I love it, than Balboa Park, right? It's a representation of San Diego in many, many ways. Bigger than Central Park. I will always tell everybody who has ears, it's the largest public park in the States, I believe. But we have this beauty that came out depicting Balboa Park. So what goes down for the idea for this, Danny, as far as in the drawing, in that room you guys have a little nook of creativity in the Loyal office. Who comes up with this? What's the storyboard? Is it just somebody just thinks of something, or is this a collaborative effort? Like, it turned out beautiful. Like, I really appreciate this, and I really love it.
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, just huge shout out to Ray, Ben, Brandon, and everyone who actually made that. That's technical ability that's just really amazing, especially with the turnaround time that literally happened within days. But one thing I really love about that is it literally every person in the marketing department was involved in some way. Even if it was just like a small suggestion or something, but we had a whole other plan for schedule release that I won't get into, but it ended up not being able to happen. So within a few days, we had to just come up with a whole new idea.
Wow.
And then execute it. So within that same conversation where we were like, all right, plan 1 is out, let's think of something else, just brainstorming, every single person in the marketing room. So, myself, Thomas, Travis, Ben, Ray, Brandon, just in a room, just spitballing ideas. And then, I think Thomas said something that we're like, all right, well, let's do something off a TV show. What's popular right now? So it was like, oh, White Lotus. Oh, that could be cool. And we pulled up that. And then there's all these things. And then someone was like, okay, well, we could work in different photos and stuff. And just instead of the title cards, it's the games. And then it goes we shoot at Balboa. And then Travis was like, all right, then you use the photos from the museums at Balboa. It just kept snowballing, and every person got to chime in. And then it got to the really nitty gritty parts where Ben has to go shoot Balboa Park now. And then Brandon is photoshopping things to look like the SD Loyal crest is in the molding, and then Ray just diving deep into Da Vinci and making this all happen. So, it was really cool to be a big team effort. I was sweating a lot less than maybe some of the other people were in terms of actually creating it. But, working on that team is really fun, and just creating that video was a blast. And it was cool to see how well it was received. just, not to be bogged down by like analytics and, being on like the social media side, but
That's your job.
seeing how well it was received was pretty awesome. And, like that got a lot of love, which always makes us happy, so it was great. Especially because it was like, someone tweeted that it made us really happy when we saw this. Someone referred to it as a love letter to San Diego, and we're like, that's absolutely it. It was taking something that's relevant, like in pop culture, but bringing it back to San Diego, like what we're all about, like where we call home. San Diego loyal. Like if you know Balboa Park, you get this, and it was like they just nailed it with that comment. So we were really stoked about that. So that's definitely. I mean, the year has just started, but I feel like it's gonna be pretty hard to top that. But
yeah, I mean,
amazing. Honestly,
it's phenomenal, and I mean, just knowing rudimentary, just what we do here, and the amount of work that it takes to put this hunk of junk sometimes on YouTube, and just knowing, like, just thinking of like, how do they make it look like it's in the molding, like it's been there for hundreds of years, and just that's a different level, and there's a great team of individuals that make it all happen, and other entities have dozens and dozens and dozens of people. This is a tight-knit group, and it's a bunch of hard workers, and I'll tell them in person when I see everybody, but I really appreciate that as a San Diegan, and that's a really cool video, and I can't wait to for you guys to dive into that little mojo and flow once again. Just tap into it because it worked out.
Appreciate that for sure.
Perfect. But yeah, I mean, one last question is, I mean, I know what the answer is going to be, but gotta ask it. Like, we'll just do it this way. Are you excited for what you have in store for this year and the ideas that you guys have coming down without telling us what it is and just revealing too much and get yourself in trouble?
Yeah, man, always excited for the season. I don't know as much as you may think I know. You're talking to the wrong Miller if you want those type of tidbits. But no, I mean, season 4 is gonna be really awesome. I came here season 2, and just seeing like the city really get behind Loyal more and more, and just seeing like the fan base grow, and just how just like the love of the city is like really kind of behind us now. And we obviously want more of that, but I really do love game days, and it's really cool. Like I traveled to one away game last year, and it was to San Antonio, and it was just crazy seeing like, man, like the atmosphere there is just, you can't even compare it to Loyal. Like Loyal is just on a different level, and it's just it's such a vibe. And I'm very excited to be back in the press box and just in that atmosphere again. It's a ton of work, but like there's nothing I love more than game days and just, interacting with everyone there, online, in person. So March 11th can't come soon enough. Buy season tickets. That's the plug.
Yes.
sdloyal.com/tickets.
That's right.
I don't know the number off the top of my head, but yeah, if you haven't been, this is your year. It's our year. So I hope to see everyone there.
Love it, Danny. Appreciate you and your work, cool. And we'll catch you on the flip side. And we're going to splice this into the middle episode, and everybody will... Well, ahí lo tiene. You have it. The boys have left for the day, and they've left the intern. Buenos días, buenas tardes. Miguel Halcón, a sus órdenes, un servidor. O in English, Mike Hawk. Mike Hawk, as you see on the screen, the mic, and 2 balls in the mic. But yeah, fantastic having the guest on. I really appreciate it. That's the end of the show. Bye for now. Bye now. Bye. You can take off now. It's fine. It'll be fine. Thank you.